Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. So today we're unpacking something absolutely wild, a massive, defining action-reaction cycle happening right now in 2026. On one hand, we've got this literal explosion of hyper-realistic AI video generation, and on the other, our rapidly scrambling defenses against them. It's basically a full-blown technological arms race between creation, deception, detection, and ultimately authenticity. Okay, let's dive right into this. Here's our roadmap for The Explainer. We're going to hit the big AI video generation leap, the synthetic media threat that followed, how enterprises and frontline debunkers are fighting back, that whole AI slop problem we keep hearing about, and finally, how real creators are actually winning with authentic content.
All right, Section 1, the AI video generation leap. Because this is really where the whole Sora 2 era kicked off.
If we zoom in and compare these specs, you can see exactly what drove this massive leap in quality and really catalyzed this arms race. Standard Sora 2, it pumps out 720p video for up to 15 seconds, burning about 16 credits a second. But then you look at Sora 2 Pro. Yes, it's way pricier at 40 credits per second, but it pushes the absolute limits to 1080p and 25 seconds. And here's the real kicker. Pro dedicates insane computational power to advanced texture, lighting, physics simulation, and crucially, native audio that generates perfectly synced dialogue and sound effects automatically. I mean, it is a total game changer for professional-grade, hyper-realistic output. Section 2, the synthetic media threat. Because, well, you know how it goes. Whenever there's a massive technological leap, bad actors are literally right there to exploit it. Take the highly controversial Cameos feature, for example, which suddenly let users effortlessly generate these hyper-realistic avatars of themselves, or, unfortunately, of other people.
And the macro impact of this was severe. Just look at this number. According to the SumSub Identity Fraud Report, we saw a staggering 311% spike in synthetic identity fraud between Q1 2024 and Q1 2025. This wasn't some distant hypothetical problem anymore. It became an immediate, full-blown epidemic targeting verification systems all over the world.
Now, what's really fascinating about this slide is that despite these AI videos looking virtually perfect to the naked eye, they actually hide these tiny, microscopic flaws. Back in April 2025, researchers publishing in arXiv broke down these very specific visual artifacts. They found that Sora-generated videos consistently struggle with boundary and edge defects, weird noise issues in the textures, unnatural movement anomalies, especially around human joints, and objects that just completely mismatch or vanish from frame to frame. And technologists actually used those exact flaws to fight back. By training a ResNet 50 machine learning framework on a huge dataset of manually annotated Sora frames, researchers hit an incredibly impressive 94.14% accuracy in automatically detecting those hidden visual artifacts. So the shield was evolving right alongside the sword. But even with that, the sheer volume of synthetic media still poses a massive existential threat. Scott Rosenberg over at Axios put it perfectly when he warned that we risked entering a new media world where verification vanishes, unreality dominates, everything blurs into everything else, and nothing carries any informational or emotional weight. It's a chilling thought, right? And it created an urgent, market-driven necessity for robust, scalable solutions. Moving to Section 3. Enterprise deepfake detection platforms. In response to this crazy wave of unreality, an entire verification industry essentially exploded overnight to catch manipulated media at the corporate level. To really understand these solutions, we have to look at the modern attack vector. Today's biggest threat? It's called an injection attack. This is where bad actors completely bypass the camera altogether. They literally pipe a synthetic video feed directly into a system's input. Traditional face scanning or simple liveness checks just can't stop this because the system genuinely thinks it's looking at a live, human camera feed. So to counter that specific threat, platforms started integrating C2PA provenance verification. Think of this standard as a digital paper trail. Platforms like DPVCheck use it to check the entire historical footprint of a media file, figuring out if it was synthetically generated long before the software even attempts to look at a user's face. And this brilliantly illustrates the current state of defense. Looking at the 2026 Deepfake Detection Platform rankings, DeepAdV clearly dominates the space. With an overall score of 9.6 out of 10, they're analyzing faces, voices, documents, and intercepting those sneaky injection attacks, all in under 150 milliseconds. Competitors like iProve and Sensity AI definitely offer strong tools,
But DeepEdV's multimodal coverage is just leading the pack right now.
But honestly, it's the economics that are truly forcing the legacy platforms to adapt. Look at this. DeepIDV manages to run 6 specialized AI agents, performing that massive multimodal check in sub 150 milliseconds for just 50 cents per verification check. I mean, 50 cents? That kind of speed paired with that incredible price point is absolutely crucial for businesses that are processing thousands of these interactions every single day.
On to Section 4, Frontline Fake News Debunkers. Because, let's be real, it's not just giant corporate enterprises that need protection. Everyday consumers and journalists are right out there on the front lines of this information war, and they need shields of their own.
Thankfully, free tools have really stepped up to empower the public. The BitMind Chrome extension, for instance, lets you simply hover your mouse over an image in your browser and instantly get an AI detection analysis with 95% accuracy. Super easy. Meanwhile, journalists are relying heavily on the InVid toolbox. It's essentially a Swiss Army knife plugin that gives them reverse image searches, metadata reading, and some really sophisticated synthetic voice detection to systematically debunk fake news out in the wild.
All right, Section 5, the AI slop problem. The reaction to AI video hasn't just been purely technical, it's been intensely cultural. We're seeing this massive public critique around the sheer volume of synthetic media just completely flooding our social feeds. And that brings us to the growing phenomenon known as AI slop. As algorithms get completely saturated with these videos, everyday users are experiencing severe slop fatigue. The content might look technically flawless, but it is creatively bankrupt. It's basically the digital equivalent of empty calories. It lacks real perspective, it's totally devoid of stakes, and it always seems to carry that hollow, uncanny valley vibe that just feels off.
Section 6. Winning with authentic content. Which brings us to the final, and honestly, perhaps the most empowering reaction in our whole arc today. It's about human creators, pivoting and realizing that to beat AI algorithms, you don't try to act like a machine. You lean hard into being human.
So, the crucial point is, what's the actual difference? While AI content relies on these highly patterned aesthetics and generic humor without any real-world stakes attached to it. Real creator content, on the other hand, is built on actual, lived experience. It offers verifiable results, it understands nuanced cultural context, and it brings genuine emotional intelligence to the table. And those are insurmountable credibility advantages that AI fundamentally just cannot replicate.
Because of this dynamic, certain content categories have become practically AI-resistant. We're talking about things like real-time commentary and reactions to breaking news, really complex and messy technical troubleshooting, hands-on product reviews that actually require physical presence over months of use, and the natural, unpredictable flow of multi-person panel discussions. These specific formats require genuine insider knowledge and actual physical presence, which makes them incredibly difficult for an AI to fake convincingly.
Let's move on and see how this builds into an actual winning strategy. Platforms like OpusClip are advocating a really smart hybrid approach. Step 1. Human creators go out and make authentic, long-form foundation content. Step 2. You use AI, but not to generate fake video. You use it for the strategic extraction of the absolute best, most engaging real moments. Step 3. The AI automatically optimizes the framing and the captions for whatever platform you're on. And finally, Step 4. You execute a strategic, high-volume distribution of those real, authentic clips. It's all about using AI to amplify real human connection, rather than trying to replace it. Which leaves us with this final, somewhat provocative thought. As this arms race between hyper-realistic video generation and detection platforms rages on, the entire landscape of digital trust is quite literally shifting beneath our feet. So, in an internet totally overflowing with synthetic perfection, will authentic human flaws actually become our most valuable digital currency? It's something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and remember, always keep